Sure. Liquidity events include an IPO of a company or acquisition of the company by a third party. Most common type of liquidity event is the acquisition by a third party, which is usually either a strategic acquirer or another financial buyer. So what happens here is that the privately held stock is exchanged for cash and or stock in the acquiring entity. While there's never a guarantee of a liquidity event, it's much more likely to occur if the company grows as planned.
Okay, terrific. Thanks, John. When you invest in private companies, what security do you buy?
We're really focused on a preferred stock because of the inherent preferences it has over common stock.
Okay, terrific. So it's preferred stock, but still, would you consider venture capitalists a risky, investment?
Yeah, you bet. Particularly the seed stage and early stage venture capital investing carries extremely high risks. Is it exciting? Yes. Is it risky? You bet.
Right.
But personally believe that potential rewards are commensurate with the risk. Otherwise, I'd focus
on
something else.
Why else would you be doing it, right? Okay, that's great. Okay, John, thank you so much for helping our viewers understand a little bit more about venture capital investing, and best of luck.
Thank you.
With your investments, and have a wonderful rest of your day, John. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amanda.
Okay. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to hear from Patrick Niddle, an angel investor who's going to help educate us further.
If you are a luxury brand advertiser or a professional firm that services emerging companies, consider advertising on PeoplesVC TV. To learn more, visit PeoplesVC.tv today.
The Accredited Investors Club, learning about private equity investments. And I would like to introduce our next guest, Patrick Niddle. Hello, Patrick. It's so nice to have you, Patrick.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, welcome to Accredited Investors Club, Patrick. I understand you are semi-retired. Can you tell us about what your profession was?
Sure, Amanda. When I stepped away from the corporate world, I was most recently the Vice President of Strategy and Business Development for Owens Corning's roofing business. Owens Corning's in Toledo, Ohio, and worked for many years in the building materials industry.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much, Patrick. I understand you consider yourself an angel investor?
Well, that's right, Amanda. Since leaving the corporate world, I focused more of my attention on broader equity as well as angel investing.
Okay, terrific. Patrick, but what exactly is angel investing?
Well, angel investing is a commonly used term where accredited investors provide early stage capital to entrepreneurs.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much. So, just so I can understand, what is the difference between then an angel investor and a venture capitalist firm?
Well, angel investors are generally individuals, and whereas a venture capital firm, they have funds through which they invest. So angel investors also tend to invest earlier in the life of a company. But we're both similar in the sense that we both invest in privately held companies.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much. And so how do angels like you find out about companies that you're interested in investing in?
Well, that's the hard part. Sometimes, frankly, the angels form groups, entrepreneurs find out about these groups, and connections are made. But I have to say, for me, it's been difficult to really access deal flow. The angel group in my area had disbanded, so I could not find deals to look at that were near to where I live.
Right.
I did eventually find a group further away, but finding deals to consider can be quite difficult.
Okay, so it can be, so it's difficult, but would you consider angel investing risky?
Absolutely.
Okay.
While it can be rewarding, there is an extremely high degree of risk, and usually it means the payback may be a long time in coming.
Okay, all right, Patrick, thank you so much for helping us understand angel investors and how they operate. We'll be back after a short commercial to see a new offering that was launched this morning at 12:01 a.m. It's exciting, right?
Yeah.
Well, terrific. Thank you so much, Patrick. Yes.
Accredited Investors Club is sponsored by Austin Forge Works, luxury hand-forged art and furniture since 2005.
Accredited Investors Club. And next, we will be speaking with Akil Garland, the creator of PeoplesVC. We are about to begin part 2 of our stock offering presentation. So let's bring Akil down. Akil, it's so nice to see you.
Thanks, Amanda.
So welcome to Accredited Investors Club, Akil. Can you start by telling me what inspired you to start PeoplesVC?
Sure. For me, it was pretty simple. I believe the time is now for America to reinvent itself.
Okay.
And we need jobs in this country. And as a serial entrepreneur, I saw an opportunity to make a meaningful difference. So PeoplesVC exists to create American jobs.
Awesome. Okay. So you're talking about creating jobs, Akil, but what qualifies you to embark on this mission?
Well, I've created many businesses, taking an idea from nothing to something,
Okay.
From a dream into a reality. And so I'm very familiar with the process. And I understand the challenges that entrepreneurs face. And one of the biggest challenges is just finding capital, right? All
Okay.
businesses need capital to start or to expand. But finding it can be really difficult and impossible for many, really. I remember once when I was trying to get an idea off the ground, and I tried to get bank financing, like traditional
Right,
bank
yep.
financing, denied. I tried to get venture capital financing, and I didn't have the contacts to
Right.
make that work. But I was super passionate about my idea, and what I ended up doing it was financing it with credit cards.
Okay,
and,
wow.
And how I did it is, this was before the internet, but I basically mailed out about 100 applications, all at the same time,
Okay.
to banks. And lo and behold, I ended up getting back like a stack of credit cards, and I saved them because I think they're humorous to look at. So I have here my my stack,
Yeah,
basically.
you have
of
quite a few there, Akil.
of credit cards. Not that I'm suggesting this is the best way to get a business off the ground.
Okay.
I'm not. But it did turn into a multi-million-dollar revenue business.
Wow, okay.
And so my point is that I know how difficult it can be for entrepreneurs to raise
The funds.
capital, right? And I'm super excited to help provide financing for entrepreneurs that are going to help create jobs.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great, Akil. That's a wonderful story. I like the credit cards. Can you tell me, though, more specifically how PeoplesVC works?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I hop up and
Go for it, Akil.
give a little presentation?
Do it. Just
Okay.
do it.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to paint everybody here in the audience a picture of PeoplesVC and the plane that we're building that's kind of taxiing down the runway, and how and where we plan to fly. So as I said, first and foremost, PeoplesVC is about creating American jobs. This is why we're here. And we believe the time is now for America to reinvent itself. We're passionate about helping create jobs. We don't want to create dead-end jobs or jobs that will be easily replaced by a robot or by a machine. We want to create entrepreneurial jobs. We want to create jobs that are innovative. We want to create the types of jobs that create more jobs. We want to create jobs that multiply themselves. So I just want to be clear about our mission, because we want to be attracting business partners, employees, and investors who share our deep desire to help rebuild America. So, just to get the energy flowing a little bit more in here, I want to synchronize ourselves a little bit, and I'm going to ask you to, on the count of 4, to join me in saying the word jobs. 1, 2, 3, jobs. All right, that's the problems are opportunities, and we have a little bit of room for improvement. 1, 2, 3, jobs. Better. 1, 2, 3, jobs. Nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, jobs. 1, 2, 3, jobs. Perfect. Thank you. I feel better. So anyway, stay with me. We'll go through that fun little exercise again, if for no reason other than to help keep the camera folks awake. They've been working very hard getting the set together and the show in place. So, by the way, if you have any questions for me during the presentation, feel free, you can email them to us at info, I believe it is, info@peoplesvc.com. And there, info@peoplesvc.com. Am I right?
Yep,
okay,
right.
Sorry. Email us on your phone or whatever, or if you're out watching this on the internet, feel free to shoot an email our way. The questions will wind their way to our host, Amanda, and if there's time, we'd love to address yours. So thank you for that. So first, just a little bit more about jobs, and then we're going to talk about our business model. But question for the audience, do you know where jobs come from? Does anybody know what creates jobs? They're created mostly by small businesses. I call it the 50-50 rule. Businesses with less than 50 employees employ nearly 50 million Americans. 50 million. That's a lot. But a lot of Americans remain unemployed today. Are they willing to work? Yeah, I think they are. Are they ready to work? Yes. So what do they need? 1, 2, 3. Jobs! Nice. But what's the problem? The problem is the businesses are starving for financing these days. Prior to the 2008 Lehman collapse, big bank financing, loan approval rates for small businesses approached 45%. Today, though, they approve less than 18% of small business loan applications. So when banks don't lend to small businesses, it's nearly impossible for these businesses to grow and to generate jobs. They need capital. So what can a small business do? Well, they can go to a bank for a traditional bank business loan, likely denied, very difficult to get. They could seek venture capital funding, also nearly impossible. They could use a stack of credit cards. Yeah, not that we necessarily recommend that. So this is our plan. This is our 3-step plan for how we at PeoplesVC are going to create jobs. This is what we're going to do. Number 1, we're going to hire what we call .TV producers in towns and cities across this country. These producers, we call them .TV producers, will be our feet on the street. They'll be folks out seeking out businesses that need funding. They'll match each entrepreneur with an appropriate show on PeoplesVC TV. I think it's helpful to think of these shows as verticals. Think of a show as what people often refer to as a vertical, a market segment. So for example, let's say there's a robotics engineer entrepreneur. They would be matched on our Robo-Funders show. And if we had a microbrewer or a microbrewery, they would go on our Beer Money show. Let's imagine we had a female entrepreneur who wants to start a catering business. Years of experience, potential clients all lined up, but she needs capital. She needs money to buy equipment and to hire staff. So in this case, our local .tv producer would likely choose our show we call Belevate. Belevate is a show that's all about supporting women-owned businesses. So for entrepreneurs who have successfully raised funds, we've been developing our multi-user platform. And this particular platform, our goal is not just to raise funds for these entrepreneurs or raise funds for these businesses, but we want to help support them after they've been successful raising funds. So this portal is a place where entrepreneurs can interact with their investors and their stakeholders. It's under development right now. We call it our Stakeholder Center. And we hope that it will benefit the entrepreneurs as well as the investors. So it's an area to exchange information, exchange ideas, and efficiently leverage the large knowledge base and experience that investors can bring to the table. So these .tv producers would produce these shows featuring entrepreneurs, much like we're doing today, and these shows would be broadcast to the world, for the world to see on PeoplesVC TV. And ultimately, each of these entrepreneurs and their newly formed businesses will start to hire and expand to even more jobs. So it's a super powerful concept. In addition, we're building a portal for our .tv producers where they can receive online support, training, communicate and learn from each other through a forum, order materials, etc., etc. So we plan to revolutionize capital formation for small businesses. We plan to let the people financially support entrepreneurs rather than banks. We plan to let the people replace early stage traditional venture capital funding. Yes, we plan to disrupt the disruptors. We are PeoplesVC. Quick water break, excuse me. Sorry, I know this is not the right time for this, but. Can we take a commercial break? Okay, thanks.
Let's take a commercial because we'll go to that right now. We'll be right back after this.
If you are an entrepreneur seeking funding to expand your company, consider raising funds on our show, Accredited Investors Club. Here you can reach an audience interested in supporting innovative entrepreneurs in America. To acquire
Yay!
visit PeoplesVC.com today.
Okay, you are joining us live on the Accredited Investors Show, and we are here with CEO of PeoplesVC, Akil Garland, and he's going to tell us more about the exciting things that are happening with PeoplesVC. Let's hear from you, Akil.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yes, of course.
So let's move on to what is our business plan. We are becoming a software company and a multimedia production company that will help entrepreneurs raise capital through the internet and video. So today, as Title II of the Jobs Act has finally become legal, we will offer this multimedia white-labeled software platform to privately held businesses, and they can rent it for a fixed fee. In fact, a little plug, if there's anyone out on the internet watching this right now that owns their own business, if you own your own business and you're looking for capital, we want to help. So please don't hesitate to visit us at PeoplesVC.com. We would love to help. After Title III of the Jobs Act, when the SEC rulemaking is completed, when all Americans, not just the wealthy, are given the liberty to invest in privately held companies, we plan to become a registered, they're called crowdfunding portals. And when this happens, we expect to receive a success fee based on funds that we're able to raise for entrepreneurs. There is a problem, though, and that the problem is that we, PeoplesVC, need to refuel our own plane so that we can continue our takeoff. And as I said, I see problems are always opportunities, and today we're offering an opportunity for accredited investors to purchase stock in PeoplesVC. So here are the offering details. This is a Series A preferred stock. The minimum offering amount is $500,000. The maximum offering amount is $4.75 million. The price per share is 25 cents, and the minimum investment is $25,000. So it's 100,000 shares times 25 cents is $100,000. So the minimum investment is $25,000. Offering details, you can find them at PeoplesVC.com or PeoplesVC.tv. And you'll see a View Offering Memorandum tab, which you can go into, and it'll click on that, and it'll take you to our offering site. So, what do we plan to do with the funds that we're entrusted with? We have a use of proceeds chart. You can find it in the offering memorandum on the accredited investors site. Again, go to peoplesvc.com, and that'll lead you to the accredited investors site, where you can view the offering. This offering memorandum includes information about our business, what's our business plan, what are the risk factors to consider with an investment like this. It's a really cool concept because all of this information for the memorandum is in the memorandum area, but we have a due diligence data room, we call it, and it's an area where prospective investors, if they're interested in pursuing an investment in PeoplesVC, can go into this due diligence data room, and they can just dig into a wide variety of documents and background information on the company. So for example, in the due diligence data room, you would find bylaws or board minutes of the company, resolutions, material contracts, related party transactions, employee stock options, a lot of information. So we're really excited today because we can celebrate a new moment of transparency, because this wasn't allowed before today. This type of offering was not allowed, right? So this is a new opportunity for accountability for entrepreneurs and transparency for investors. So we find this incredibly exciting, something really truly revolutionary. Also, on our site, on our platform, there's a spot where you can choose if you want to interact with the CEO of the company. In this case, it's me. So you can go on the site if you want to schedule a meeting and we talk on the phone or we talk on Skype or whatever. It's as simple as going on the site and selecting a date and time that's convenient for you. Everything else happens automatically, and you'll get an email confirmation, and we'll have an opportunity to chat with each other. So I invite anybody who's interested in learning more that way to do that. So I look forward to that and keep that invitation open. So also on our platform, you can see how many investors have invested in this offering, which is pretty cool. And by the way, as an aside, just to set expectations, an offering like this, we expect it starts at 0, right? It's just starting today. It's just started. We expect it to stay probably at 0 for a while because we want to invite people to really do their homework, dig into the due diligence room, read the offering memorandum, really understand the risk factors of an investment like this. So we expect the amount to be 0 for a while, but a leader will step forward that inspires other people to jump on board and help get this plane off the ground. So, quick test to see if the audience caught the most important pieces of information here. What does America need? Jobs. What does America need? 1, 2, 3, jobs. What does PeoplesVC care most about creating? 1, 2, 3, jobs. 1, 2, 3, jobs. 1, 2, 3, jobs. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yay! Good job, Akil. That was wonderful. Thank you. So I can see here that we are queued up for another commercial. I will answer questions. Actually, I'm not going to answer them. Akil will answer some questions when we return. We'll get some questions from the audience and from the internet. So let's thank Akil one more time, and then we'll go to commercial and come back.
PeoplesVC TV, the world's first crowdfunding channel, is currently hiring .tv producers from coast to coast. Applicants must be self-starters, enjoy working with new technology, and have a passion for social media, marketing, sales, and video production. To learn more about job opportunities at PeoplesVC, visit us at www.peoplesvc.com today.
Okay, thank you, Akil. I have received several questions from the crowd, as well as those watching at home. Would you mind addressing some of these questions now?
No, I would be delighted to.
Okay, terrific, great. So the questions are going to appear on the monitor, so if you see me squinting or kind of checking them out, that's what's going on. The first question is from Fred. Fred is in the audience. Fred, could you please stand up? Hi, Fred.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if you just could speak loudly and address your question to Akil, that would be wonderful.
Yes, Akil, Fred Thatcher from Fremont Scientific. What do you plan to pay yourself during this period?
So Akil, did you hear that? Fred's asking what your salary is.
Well, that's an awkward question to begin with, but it's very welcome because the whole point of this new era of transparency is to have a platform or a forum where people can ask these types of questions. So thank you, Fred, for breaking the ice here. My salary right now is 0. I don't take a salary from the company. But I do expect when we complete this round of funding to receive a salary of $4,000 a month, that the company would pay me $4,000 a month, which is $48,000 a year. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's cash conserving for the company, and it's something I'm looking forward to.
It'll be nice to make a salary, right? Yes. Okay, so we have another question from the audience. Kathy, hi Kathy.
Hello.
Hello, so just address your question to Akil.
Akil, what keeps you up at night? What are you worrying about?
That's a great question, Akil. So just so everyone can hear, Kathy's wondering what keeps Akil up at night and what he's worried about.
Well, A lot of things keep me up at night. That's for sure. I think that probably my biggest worry is the fact that we're entering uncharted waters here today. That these rules that have just gone into effect today, no one has ever done this before, right? This business model that I've been describing, no one has ever done it before. So it's so basically what I'm saying is we have an unproven business model, and that's probably, of all the things, that's probably the most worrisome. It's an excellent question. Thank you for asking it.
Okay, thank you, Akil. I have another question here from Pete. Pete, could you stand up?
Sure.
Okay, great, thank you.
Akil, this is very exciting. Can anybody invest in PeoplesVC?
So, yeah.
Also a great question. Thank you, Pete. The way the new rules work that went into effect at midnight is that the only investors that can invest at this point in time in this offering are what are called accredited investors. What is an accredited investor, other than something hard to say, an accredited investor?
Right.
It's funny. Well, there's definitions for corporations and trusts and other entities, but for what they call, and I think this is kind of humorous, natural persons. That's the SEC language for it. If you're a natural person, I don't know quite what an unnatural person is, but it's just a technical term. You're not a corporation. You're a person. So for a natural person or individuals, there are basically two relevant tests. One is based on income, and another is based on net worth. So simply, an individual with a net worth in excess of $1 million, not including the value of their primary residence, they would be considered an accredited investor. Or an individual with income in excess of $200,000 per year, or $300,000 including their spouse, for the past 2 years, with a reasonable expectation of at least that much for the current year, that person would be considered an accredited investor. But it's most important for anybody who's interested, please review the offering memorandum for the entire technical definition of what an accredited investor is. Excellent question. Thank you,
Okay.
Pete.
Thanks, Akil. Now, I can see we have some questions from the internet. So Linda from Sarasota, Florida is asking, is there a minimum number of shares I would need to purchase? So she's wondering, is there a minimum number of shares she would need to purchase, Akil, to participate in the PeoplesVC?
Right. Yes, the minimum number of shares is 100,000 shares, and the share price is 25 cents per share. So the minimum investment would be $25,000.
Okay, great. And then Caroline from Seattle has a question. Where does PeoplesVC fall in the spectrum of risk? How would it compare with buying IBM shares, for example? So that's her question to you, Caroline's question, Akil.
How does it compare to buying IBM shares?
Yep.
Well, okay.
It's different.
It's very different. Well, all investing is risky, right? It is. That's why it's called investing. And all risk is really subjective, I suppose, to a certain extent. But in my opinion, a blue chip stock like IBM that's been around for decades and is publicly traded, it's liquid, and offers extensive publicly available financial information, would carry a much smaller degree, really, of risk than investing in an early stage or an emerging company like PeoplesVC. We have a very short operating history, an unproven business model, and illiquid securities. So in my opinion, they're very different, and an investment like this would carry a much higher degree of risk. But we're a young company, and we're full of passion and energy, and we have new ideas, and we're really excited to build this business.
Terrific, thank you, Akil. So now, Andy from New York City is asking, what happens with my money once I commit to investing it? That's a good question.
That's yeah, absolutely. That's an excellent question. Well, we're using an escrow agent. Continental Stock Transfer Company is our escrow agent. They'll hold the funds in an account at JP Morgan, and they will not give us, we don't get a penny of the funds until we accept at least $500,000 of subscriptions. So if we don't raise our minimum, which is the $500,000 before January 21st of 2014, then our escrow agent will return all of the funds back completely to the investors, and the subscriptions themselves would be canceled.
Okay, thank you, Akil. So I'm getting a signal that we need to end the Q&A. We've run out of time. We're going to take one last commercial break, and then we'll come back. We're going to take one last commercial break, and then we'll come back for a final word. So thank you so much, Akil.
You're watching PeoplesVC TV, the first crowdfunding TV channel dedicated to helping put America back to work. Obama recently signed the Jobs Act, allowing entrepreneurs to use Twitter, Facebook, social networking, and the internet to crowdfund directly from the public. For the first time in 80 years, all Americans, not just the wealthy, have a right to fund and own stock in emerging companies. It's a fact that small businesses generate more jobs than all big businesses combined. PeoplesVC is democratizing venture capital, opening up a new world of opportunities traditionally closed to the general public. Our shows in development will feature all kinds of entrepreneurs: women business owners, brewers and pub owners, robotics engineers, farmers, innovators in 3D printing, veterans, young entrepreneurs, high techies, seniors, and many, many more. Interact, invest, be entertained, and help put America back to work.
Okay, we are back live. Thank you, Akil, for joining us on Accredited Investors Club, and good luck with PeoplesVC and its stock offering. Remember, if you are interested in investing in PeoplesVC, you can go to peoplesvc.com and click on Offering Information tab. I'd like to thank all of our guests. Thank you for coming. A special thank you to Jonathan Green from Brook Venture Partners and angel investor Patrick Niddle for appearing on the show. Let's give them a warm round of applause. Thank you guys so much. Okay. I would also like to thank several companies who have made this show possible. Remember, the opinions expressed and the content of this show are not necessarily shared by these individuals or companies, but we would like to give a big thank you to them for their generous support. XOR Media and C Change Technologies for allowing us to use this beautiful space. William Reeves Commercial Real Estate for so many things. This gorgeous building, by the way, is for sale or lease. You can call 603-315-0808 for more information. We also want to thank Austin Forge Works, and a special thank you to the town of Greenville, New Hampshire. So thank you, everybody.